Okay, guys, we're gonna go ahead and get going with this. First off, I do want to thank Lakeside Beach House Grill for letting us have this patio and everything here. I really appreciate it, everything that they've done. With that, there's been a fair amount of planning that's gone into this. Jenny, thank you. Lisa, Kyle, Mikey, thank you guys for your help with everything. Better? I don't know. That's about what we got. Okay. There's a few more seats too, if anybody needs any seats up here, by the way. Also too, we had the koozies. I don't know if the koozies are gone. We are planning on ordering more, or we have more on order. There is a list over there, so just let us know if you want a koozie, we'll get it to you. As well as the stickers that are available. The Drain the Lake, that was a pretty classic, funny. Dmitri and Peter, thank you very much for doing that. That's the classic Dmitri right there. Also the photos that we have, you're more than welcome to take a photo, or if you'd like, leave a note on the back of the photo, and we'll make sure that that gets back to Nina, Peter, and Alexei, and Tatiana. So, and then also the ski. McPhee, thank you very much for bringing the ski, and whoever else was involved in that. Please sign the ski on your way out, or whenever. Plenty of markers over there to sign. It's a good tribute. So this is pretty much kind of an open mic sort of thing. We do have a couple people that plan on speaking, but if anybody feels at any moment that they want to come on up, that's kind of how we're going to do it. To open us off, or to start us off and open us up, I'd like to introduce Tatiana, Dmitri's aunt, and she's going to go ahead and speak, and then we'll have a few more speakers, and then if anybody else feels or wishes to speak, by all means, please come on up. Thank you.
Thank you. I speak in Russia, and it helps me. Дима очень любил озеро Тахо. Он так хотел, чтобы я приехала и увидела эти красоты. Я прилетела, но, к сожалению, без него.
Dmitri loved Lake Tahoe. He pleaded with me to come and experience the beauty of this place firsthand. I'm finally here, but without him.
Димы нет с нами 2 недели. Мы не можем поверить в случившееся. Ощущение горя не покидает нас ни на минуту.
Dima has been missing for 2 weeks now. We still cannot believe this happened. The deep sense of loss is with us constantly.
И мы так благодарны всем вам за поддержку, за участие, за понимание. Я уверена, что там, летя с горы, в последний момент своей жизни он был счастлив.
We're very thankful to you all for your help, support, and understanding in this difficult time. I can say with certainty that 2 weeks ago, in his last moments, skiing down the mountain, Dima was happy. Thank you.
Спасибо.
I first met Dmitri shortly after he moved to town at a bar at Mott. We all know Mott. We first started talking, and moments later he explained to me how he was going to be working for Heavenly Ski Patrol. Having been on patrol at that time for a couple of years, talked to him a little bit on how it was going to be and how much fun and how he was going to love it. He started out as a base medic, where he saw all of us in some capacity day in and day out throughout all the time. Whether he was providing patient care, cleaning up gear, prepping the gear to go back up on the hill, or just the brief moments that he had to break out his guitar and play a version of Jimi Hendrix or Nirvana. Fast forward to the next winter, Dmitri and I rented a house together. That's when I really got to know him. His love for the mountains was endless, and he was constantly trying to go skiing somewhere new. He would call up different patrols around the lake to see if he could get some tickets to go ski there, or go on a backcountry mission that he was seeking out. He was super stoked when he got the Iron Mountain belt buckle for the Gun Barrel 25. And he couldn't help showing off his accomplishment. He was super proud of it the whole time. I was fortunate enough to go on 3 of the Sierra Club huts with him. His goal was to go to all 4. This past year, he wasn't able to make it, obviously, since he was in school. And as a tribute to him, Lisa decided that it would be a good idea to put his picture, blow it up. We had a photo on a stick, and we brought him with us because we knew how much he wanted to go. He loved working at the hospital. I remember the first summer he worked there, he was working a lot of night shifts. He would come home, sleep for a little bit, go do something outside, and do it all over again. It was great to have the smell of chocolate banana bread baking in the house, as he would always leave one home and then take the other one to work for everybody else to enjoy. As all the people from the hospital can attest to, Dmitri was a hard worker that really enjoyed what he did. Throughout the 3.5 years that we lived together, we constantly had people coming to visit. Whether it was my friends from college, or his friends from Washington, San Francisco, New York, his family, he was so excited to show people around. Typically ended with a bottle of bourbon or Fernet in case of Sierra Nevadas at the house. Then there was Burning Man. This is something that he loved to do every year. Of course, I have no idea what it's all about since I've never been. He would put in his time and prep for this, often taking a lot of planning. As everyone knows, this was something he had a lot of passion for. He would do whatever he could to get a ticket, even working out there with medical staff as an EMT so he could go. Dmitri was an amazing person. He was brutally honest, really confident, funny as hell, unbelievably smart, humble, and always down to do anything. You never knew how the day would turn out with him, but you knew it was going to be fun, exhausting, and different than normal, and would always end with a beer. I'll never forget the times we shared, the fun and happy times, and even the not so fun and happy times. When he told me he was heading to medical school, I was really bummed that my friend was moving, but really happy for him. I knew he would do well. Leave it to Dmitri to tell us that he would likely fail, only to get a 4.0 GPA the first semester. When he would come back to visit, he had Rainier beer in his car as a gift, and had just stopped at Shasta on the way down, so of course he had a story right away. When he would leave, he would pack up as quick as he came, gave a big hug, and say, "See ya." I always kept in touch with him when he was out of town, and I still find myself looking at the last text conversation we had the day before the incident. It puts a smile on my face knowing that he was doing what he wanted to do in life, studying medicine and skiing. I'm really gonna miss him.
That don't know me, my name is Lisa. I met Dmitri when we were just 19 at Burning Man. He had a blue mohawk, a gold chain, aviators, and went by the name of Dime. I know, hard to believe. We stayed in contact through email, in which he would spell words like school and some as S-K-O-O-L and S-U-M. He would kill me for telling you that. When he made the move to Tahoe, he told me he didn't want me to call him Dime anymore. He wanted to be Dmitri, the future ski patroller, ER tech, and future medical student. With long, nappy hair, a goofy, infectious smile that sometimes was followed with excessive drooling. I hope a lot of people got to witness that. For any of you who have skied with Dmitri, you know he liked to push himself and everyone else that was with him. I don't think I've ever been more terrified in my life than skiing with Dmitri. Come on, you got this, he would say. He taught me how to be a better skier, but most importantly, how to pick my own lines, because there's no way I would follow him again. Dmitri touched many people with his willingness to learn from everyone. He had the ability to love and respect everyone around him. A few years ago, we went to Santa Cruz for my mom's birthday. They got to witness that firsthand. My dad was fighting cancer at the time, and my dad decided to lay down in the bedroom because he wasn't feeling very well. Dmitri, of course, had his guitar in hand. He decided that he was going to ask to see what my dad's favorite song was. So we told him it was a Georgian song, and that's the country. It's a really difficult language to learn. And he learned it within 30 minutes, of course. And we all went to my dad's room and sang it to him. That's just the kind of person he was. I'm so sorry. Ugh. Anyway, that's the type of person he was. He was one of the most genuine, golden-hearted people you will ever meet. And he was a dime. He will always be a dime, and he'll always be remembered. And if I could be half as loved as what I see tonight with all of you guys, I could pass away happy. So, thank you so much for coming here.
So anyway, this is my first time actually using a microphone. I first met Dmitri about 4 years ago, and I first moved to Tahoe and transferred into heavy patrol. He was one of the first faces I ever met, and I walked into first aid at Cal Base. He was there smiling at me and said, "Hey, how you doing?" "Oh, I'm Brandon. It's nice to meet you." But anyway, I was one of the few fortunate ones to go up to Washington and get to see that beautiful place. It's the first time I've ever been in Washington.
Brandon.
First time, sorry. But anyway, it was the first time I ever made it to Washington. Unfortunately, it took this event to get me up there. But I was fortunate enough to see what Dmitri saw in those mountains. And it really sparked my adventure. I want to get back out, and I want to climb big mountains again. And it took him and his passion, and we all know how passionate he was about mountains. And if I could see him today, I'd be like, "Hey, buddy, let's go summit that thing." And I really want to go back. I want to go up there, and I want to do it right. As always, I got a chance to live with Dmitri and Grasso. They took me in, and I got to know Dmitri then. And actually, I think it was the first and only time I ever saw him mad. I moved in, and my OCD took over, and I rearranged the kitchen. And so, Dmitri comes down the next day to make his breakfast, and he can't find his plates. And, I heard about that for months. And I'm sad that I can't make him mad again, unfortunately. But you can't make him mad. He's just always too happy. I will miss him quite a bit. It was always a good day when Dmitri was around. So thank you guys for coming. First time.
Got one. Pretty much, it's kind of an open mic at this point. If anybody wants to come on up and speak or say a couple words, anything that you got to say, you're more than welcome. Steve Estango.
Lisa was the only one who cried. That's disappointing. I'm sorry. I don't know how far I'm gonna get. So I work in the ER. My name is Steve. Hi everybody I don't know. So before I share my emotions, I wanted to thank Dmitri's family for being here. He talked about you a lot, and you guys meant so much to him. I wanted to thank Chris, Jenny, Lisa, Mikey, Brandon, Kyle, anybody else I'm not naming, for going up to Washington, and specifically Rainier, and just doing what they did. So thank you for that. Damn, Dmitri was loved. Look at all you guys. This is awesome. Raise your glass. Yeah. So Dmitri is my best friend. I don't know. You guys probably all say the same thing, because look at how many you are. Most everyone knows the stages of grief. There's depression, anger, bargaining, denial. I don't know if I already said that. Anger. I think what I've learned through life is that you actually go through those stages randomly, and they definitely don't follow a specific order. I think they forgot one, and that's that the stage that I'm in, which is I miss my best fucking friend. When I first heard about his death, I actually went into the stage of acceptance, ironically, but now I really miss him. I think what I'll miss most is going backcountry with him, sharing stories of patients in the ER. I won't be able to pick him up at the end of my street anymore after he just crushed the Palisades run with his patroller jacket inside out so he wouldn't be seen after duck and row. He probably wouldn't want me to say that, but yeah. No, it's true. It's true. I won't see him crushing beers with me on the chairlift anymore. I won't see him on Christmas in Cabo Wabo doing dancing, stretching, calisthenic exercises after a big day of skiing. I'd say more, but his family's here. So. He won't be cranking Bad Religion in his car as we drive up to our next adventure. I won't hear his enthusiasm anymore about all his friends and workers. Every time he came back into town, he would just ask about everybody at the hospital and name every single person and just ask what they're doing new, which was usually the same stuff, but that's what he lived for. He lived for all of us. So. What he left with me mostly was happiness when we spent time together, and wisdom from his philosophical discussions. Like Chris said, he was #1 in his med school. That's just ridiculous after partying with him and just saying that he's gonna fail med school, and he just crushed it. So to close this chapter of my best friend, I want to recognize that Dmitri taught me so much in life. He used to say that without misery, there is no life to celebrate. And I learned and observed from him how to live and celebrate each day that we have. He taught me to embrace the misery that we all experience to truly celebrate the joy of life. So thank you, Dmitri, for putting me in a lot more misery in my life right now by not being here, and knowing that I won't see you again. But as he would have told me, without feeling this misery, I would have never been able to celebrate my life with him. So be safe out there, everyone, and always remember Dmitri in your hearts. Thank you.
We'll go ahead and leave the mic on and available if anybody wants to come on up.
believe it or not, I'm not too good at this. That's why. So it's kind of hard, obviously for everybody, but I got a pretty good story with Grasso and myself and Dmitri at Mount Rose, which was pretty good. It's PG. About that though was we had a great day skiing. I kind of didn't want to go, just like typical me. Gotta get talked into it, maybe a couple beers or so, but I get talked into it pretty easy. And we went up to Mount Rose and we had the greatest day probably ever. I don't know if you guys seen Dimitri's classic picture of, I don't know, Madden posted one, but his classic jump in the air, no matter where we are, that's like just take a picture of me doing this. It's like, all right, it's on. So we went skiing for the day, had a blast. We killed it, I swear. So the last run, right? Don't ever say last run. So we didn't. We're like, fuck it. Excuse my language. And we went and skied the chutes right before Sweet, and skied this line. We were skiing all day, laughing like one after another. I was kind of leading the way, like impressed with Grasso charging and Dmitri like killing it. Like we skied. Every time we ski together, I was like blown away. Like this guy just wants to like get better and better and better, and he actually is killing it. So it's pretty impressive. And so I think the last run we did is usually is like me, then Grasso, then Dmitri. We kind of like root them on, you know. And this last run it was myself, then Dmitri, and then here comes Grasso sliding head first. Sorry, Grasso. Down the chutes, in front of patrol, doing sweep. And we're patrol with free tickets. Grasso lost his ski pole. That's nothing usually, that's typical. Lost his keys to his car. That's how we all got there. So, we're hanging out in the parking lot having beers and figuring out what we're gonna do next. A little inebriated, but pretty good. Grasso was like perfect. He's like, I think I got this, you guys, you know. Dimitri's like, I don't know, man. He's like, we can make this an epic day. You just come with us to Reno. My buddy's in Reno. We can just go over the pass. Guitar Center. He loved music. I mean, I love music, but Dmitri loved music. So we went to Guitar Center. We didn't even buy anything. He just went in there. He's like, dude, we can play whatever we want. As loud as we want and do whatever we want. I was like, really? That's my style. Especially after the day we had. And met one of his good friends in Reno, and then we came back, and as we're passing, this is hours later, as we're passing through town, here comes Grasso going the other way after eventually getting his keys from a good friend. And probably one of the best days I'll ever remember, and I think that was the first time I ever skied Mount Rose, and I'm born and raised here, so it's probably the coolest story I have. So just want to share out to you guys. So thank you.
together. I know, it was Dmitri's idea. But it was a turning moment for me at Burning Man. And it really kind of made me feel accepted and adventurous and safe. And I'll never forget it. I was so grateful to him. And, you know, we would run into each other here and there and just, you know, give each other a hug, nice to see ya. But he always had this very special place in my heart as this person that taught me a really good lesson on how to be kind and give to someone that you don't even really know. And I was just asking our friend recently about him. You know, he was just one of those people that kind of always in the back of your head, like, how is he? You know, because he's one of those people you're rooting for because he's so smart and giving and fun to be around. So anyway, thanks for having this, and I'm just really glad I had the opportunity to meet Dmitri.
I wasn't lucky enough to know Dmitri as well as most of you. I tried to hire him at Sierra every year. I said, come on over, man. They'll treat you right. We love patrollers at Sierra. He kept saying, yeah, I'll come by. I'll come by. I get him tickets, take him skiing, show him the best skiing ever. And he go, yeah, this is really great. But there's something about heaven I just can't leave. You know, I said I can pay you less money, but you'll feel really comfortable. I was just so fortunate to know him. It's very tough for me at these kind of events right now. Going through a lot of stuff, but I'm sitting here looking. Look at this room. Feel the love in this room. You guys feel it? I mean, everybody feels it, right? We lost another patroller, dear to our hearts. They're up there in the sky, you know, up there with there's so many patrollers that I know. But sitting in this room right here, we got the Hall of Fame of Lake Tahoe Ski Patrol. I'm looking around and I'm seeing the Hall of Famers here. I got DH. Man, I remember hiring DH. How many people in this room did I hire? I mean, like, yeah. Smithers, I always make a mistake now and then. But I hired so many of you folks that have been part of it to watch you come in, and we even got some fucking gnats here, right? You gotta love the gnats. What would we do without gnats? What would we have to bitch about, right, Miller? Oh, that's right. Everybody thank Jeff Miller because he bought all the beers tonight. So thanks, Jeff. But I only knew a little bit about Dmitri. You know, I spent some time with him when I first went over to Sierra, and he first started working at Heavenly. I'd call over Heavenly to figure out something that was on the computer that I had no clue about, and have Brian Gannon send it to me. And Dmitri go, oh, you're a coach. And I go, yeah, I'm a coach. And he goes, how's Big Jer? And I go, he's Big Jer. He's doing fine. And he goes, well, I always heard about you guys. I go, yeah, good, I hope. He goes, oh, yeah, pretty much all good. What'd you hear bad? And he goes, well, I can't tell you what I heard bad, but I heard of something about a coach's club that wasn't very good. I go, everybody's in coach's club. Right, Mac? You were in my club, right? Where's Mac? Come on, Mac. You were in my club, weren't you? Oh, come on. Give me some love, Mac. I love Mac. But anyways, looking around this room, and there's so much love. There's so much great patrolling in this room. We got McPete. We got Colton. Where's Colton, man? Like, you guys are doing it. You're killing it. Burkholm. I mean, like, I remember when you guys all came up as young bucks. Now you're leading the show, right? Right? And where's James Grant? You're not going to fire these guys, are you? I wouldn't if I was you. I just see all the love in this room. And Dmitri as a patroller, man, when when you get up there and you see the big guy in the sky or the big gal in the sky, however it goes, they let patrollers in. He gets to cut lines and get right to the front. Because that's how it works. I thank you all. Toast one for Dmitri. And all I say to Dmitri is, tell my Zach I love him. All right. Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah, so there are a bunch of people here, and they are just stoked on celebrating Dmitri's life. Just wanted to say that I'm going to tell like the quickest story, but I was going down and I was probably hanging out with all of these guys like a few nights before and the night before. Let's see, and I went to Round Hill Pines, and I had been kind of hungover with these guys. I am good friends with them, and I wanted to do a gainer off. I was pretty drunk, and I wanted to do a gainer off the end of the dock. So there's this girl I kind of liked too there. So I did it, and I landed like deep down, and I hit myself. I hit myself right in the middle of my face. So I was there, and I am trying to keep it cool, and I see Dmitri, and he's like, I got all this stuff to do, you know, all these people are here, and, you know, he took me right to their house, whatever his plans were, he canceled them, and just put on this kind of like glue in my face. And he truly cared about it more than I did, but I appreciated it. And might be awkward that I'm up here speaking, but I mean, like, everyone that's here, even if you didn't know him that well, he touched you real quick, and so did his roommates. I love those guys. So hope your night goes well.
So the first day I met Dmitri, I came down with a wreck, and he was a medic at Cal Base. And back then we had medics at Cal Base. We don't do that anymore. But at the time, is this better? So I come into Cal Base with this patient, and I sit the patient down, and I'm finishing my paperwork and stuff. There's this guy I've never seen, and there's 4 or 5 people gathered around him. He's playing, I think it was like AC/DC on a guitar. Beat up piece of shit guitar. Now I play guitar. Not very well, but I got a bunch of them. So I do the paperwork on this patient, and while I'm doing this, he finishes the song he's doing, and he starts another song. And this is in a foreign language. And he's singing he described it to me as a Russian folk song. Sounded to me like a Russian drinking song, because I wanted to go drinking. So as this is going on, I'm looking around for the medic, and I'm not seeing a medic. So I asked someone, I was like, I need to turn my stuff over to somebody, whatever. It's like, oh, that's it right there. I was like, well, busy playing. So we got to talking, and I'm a music lover, and he's a music lover. So one of the reasons I came up here is because Hickey mentioned his passion for music, and that was my biggest connection with him. We really didn't ski a lot together. We both loved skiing. We did the avalanche thing together and all that stuff. But my true connection with Dmitri was the music. I'd say it was within a week of me meeting him. He came over to my house, and I have a shitload of guitars, and they're really nice guitars too, which is amazing because I can't play for shit. And he came in and it was like, well, Strat, Gibson, what do I play? So he came over and he was pretty good about it. He'd take the time and teach me one of his songs. And we had a term, we used to call it macking it up, because my name's Mac, if you don't know that. And he would teach me the song the way he knew it, and with the chords I knew, but the changes and stuff, I don't know if anyone plays who would get this, they weren't the ones that were familiar to me that way, so I would have to transpose it to what I knew, and he used to call it macking it up. So that was that, but we did the best when he let me play what I played, and he would rock. And Dmitri was an incredibly musician. He stunned me. I'd be playing rhythm and he'd be going off, and I couldn't even play my rhythm because I was so stunned by the talent that this guy had on a guitar. I'm gonna miss that guy a lot. He's inspired me to play more. I haven't played much lately, and since this has happened, I've played a bunch. I'm trying to remember songs that he and I used to do. And it seems I'm an old fart, 57 years old. I've been to a few of these things and I've lost a few friends. And it seems like they always take the people that bring so much more to the world. And you sit there and you think, why? Well, I think I figured it out. And I mentioned this to a few of you guys today. It's kind of like a video game. You get so many points at one level, you get to move up. So he's moved up. He's way ahead of us. He's kicking our ass, in fact. So take that with you, and remember that.
So I make Chris do this with me, only because I make the whole group do everything with me. That's just the way it goes. My name's Jenny Johnson, and Dimitri's been a part of my life for years now. And the reason I had to get up and say that after what Max said is his music was horrible. It was like the worst music ever. And I have to just share this. I don't want to, go into the history of Dmitri and I, but when we went to Washington, to try to find him, I went with Chris and Lisa and Kyle and Mikey, and we had this amazing time of just us. A 12-hour car ride. I mean, if you could, 13, everyone had to stop. But it was so great. And I have this playlist. When Dmitri left for medical school, he made me a playlist on Spotify. And I remember when he emailed it to me, and I was so excited. And I got through like 9 seconds of song 1 and didn't touch it again for months. Months. I mean, it was like, it went from Nirvana to Russian music to Mozart to Blink 182 to Matchbox 20. It was all over the board. And it was one of those things that was Dmitri. That's what he did. That's what he did for all of us. He knew my love for music. My son is here, and he loved my son, and he did so much for us. And that playlist, we wanted to play it here today, but I didn't want to hurt everyone's ears. So we decided not to play it, but it's what Max said. There's just something at the Washington memorial that his family held. There was an amazing lady there that shared something that just sticks with all of us, that in some people's lives, they only have so many memories to give. And Dmitri packed those into 30 and a half years, more than a lot of us will have in a lifetime. He touched so many of us, and there were so many memories that it's his time. It's his time. So the least we can do is continue to remember him and share those memories and be with each other. I know for a fact, I used to, Dmitri would call me all the time, please come to the house, I'll make you dinner. And I always was like, I don't want to be with those hoodlums. I have a 10-year-old, like, I don't want to be with those hoodlums. This group is now my closest in life that I've ever had, and it's solely because of Dmitri. And if Chris and Lisa and Kyle and Mikey think that they're gonna get rid of me now, like, I'm moving in at this point. Asher and I are moving in, and that's what we're gonna get. But I loved him to death, and I will continue to, and I hope all of you guys do as well.
So, the differences we make in life, right? The differences we make in life. What is the difference that Dmitri made in your life? What is the differences that Dmitri made in all those people that he showed up on those 1050s on the mountain and helped those people out? And they don't know who he is today, but they do know who he is because he made a difference in their life. He gave his life to medicine, he gave his life to patrol, he gave his life to fun. That smile on his face. I did Avi training with Dmitri. And you got to the part where you had to dig the pits, right? And there was 3 old guys, me, Mac, and this guy named Gary. Dmitri kind of looks around and he goes, I'll take Pip, and I think he might help. So, you know, it's the weirdest time in how you bond with somebody. So here him and I are digging this Abbey pit, right? And just that spark in that moment of time. And I keep replaying that conversation and laughing and joking about that with him. And the difference he made in my life at that time, because he did most of the shoveling, which was cool. So the day progressed, and then we skied down a little bit, and we had to skin back up. And I've never skinned before. So I'm skinning back up. And him and McPee are standing there at the top. Dimitri's got that stupid grin on his face. He's like, wasn't that great? I said, no, that was awful. I'll never want to do that again. That's why they make chairlifts. The point is everybody in this room, we have that opportunity. And I always talk about making that difference in someone's life. And I think that Dmitri made a difference in all of our lives. Now it's time for us. If he was here today talking to us, and he had that one message to give to you, was make a difference in somebody's life. And that's what he did for us.
I've only met Dmitri once. Calm down. I only have one good story. Okay, so here's my Dmitri story. There's a pattern that everyone has here, and it's that Dmitri was always kind, he was always caring, and he was always very patient in teaching, right? I'm from Washington as well, as Dmitri was. I think there's two things about me. I think everything is spicy. I thought avocados were spicy until I was 22, okay? No joke. I think pepperoni is spicy. In Washington, we have teriyaki. It's great. But they give you a spice scale, 1 to 5. California does not do that with spicy. They don't, okay? Thai food does, Mexican food does not. It's like you get spice and spice only. First time I ever met Dmitri, Lisa was making borscht. I can't say it. I still can't say it. I thought it was gonna be spicy, okay? Because I don't believe any of my friends anymore. They all lied to me. They say, no, it's not that spicy. See, she's laughing because she's my roommate, and she still tells me stuff isn't spicy. So I think it's gonna be spicy. Lisa's trying to tell me it's not gonna be spicy. I don't believe her because it's Lisa. Dmitri comes in and spends 5 minutes talking to me about Washington, and then telling me how borscht is made and how beets aren't spicy and all this different stuff. A, he was kind. A, B, he was patient. That's my Dmitri story. It's the same pattern with everything. He makes a difference, and 4 years later, I've seen Dmitri maybe 5-6 times, Nefelis mostly, because Nefelis. But he's always been patient, he's always been kind, and I still remember that story to this day, because that's just the kind of person that Dmitri was. So I just wanted to share that story. It's kind of like Morgan, short and sweet. Borscht is not spicy, okay?
Thank you all for coming. I want to introduce my mom, who has a couple of words to say.
I think Dmitri is with us here. So, our dearest Dmitri, your time with us ended very abruptly. We have a saying in Russia: "Пусть земля будет тебе пухом." That means, wherever you are, sleep comfortably. For those of us who knew you, Zimочка, our lives are now divided into two periods: before July the 3rd and after. None of us fully understood or shared your many passions. However, we were all lucky to have experienced your love for life, your love for all of us, your family and your friends. I wish and hope that the sorrow and grief each of us feel today will in time evolve into stronger relationships with those we love and the world around us. In your memory, Dmitri, and by your example, Zimочка. Thank you. thank you from the bottom of our hearts for being with us today to celebrate Dmitri. Thank you.
So thank you guys for the words you shared. They were awesome. We all know the person Dmitri was, and I hope that we just spend the rest of the night talking about him and enjoying ourselves. Enjoy some beer. Don't forget to tip your bartender. Have a good night, and thank you again for everybody's support and coming out and celebrating Dmitri's life. He was one of a kind.
Tremendous. He was just like, no, I'm all you really need. I just met him 5 minutes ago. I went, yeah, I got you. What do you want to do? Where do you want to be in 5 years? Be skiing, and then I'm just going to be building my way. So it was nonstop. I remember getting his first skis, and then he did on Thunder, and I was up there. And I was just going, one more time, baby. Right. was a chick. And he loved this tie. He kissed this tie many times. He kissed this tie so many times. He loved this tie. As the picture you saw him as a just across the road.
All right, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
You gotta take off.
Hey, Peter.
My name is Marshall. Marshall, we met each other at a Burning Man.
Oh, I
That
see.
was the first time, yeah.
I recognize.
Yeah, man.
That other young lady who spoke, I think I met her too. That one time.
Yeah. Hey, you and your brother, you guys brought me that